Добрий день всім, хто
Hello, everyone who joined us. This is Olga Tomanova, and we are in Media Center in Ukrinform. This is the 9th year of war and 139th day since the full-fledged invasion of the Russian Federation. And I'm grateful for all of you who are telling the truth about the heroic resistance in this war. Today, the events are this. At 2:30 p.m., we'll have Andriy Demchenko, spokesperson for the State Border Service of Ukraine. We'll talk about the current situation on the border. At 3:30, we'll have press conference of Azovstal Defenders Families Association. The speakers would be Katerina Prokopenko, the wife of Denis Prokopenko, commander of Azov Regiment, Tatiana Kharko, sister of the commander of the 36th Marine Brigade, Sergei Volinsky, and Marina Kravtsova, wife of the commander of Vedmedi Squad. We'll talk about the liberation of our heroes, the defenders of Azovstal. We'll learn how it happens and what's the situation now with the boys and those who are still kept captive. And now, live with us is Natalya Humenyuk, head of the United Coordinated Press Center of Security and Defense Forces of the south of Ukraine. Miss Natalia, hello. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Miss Natalia, what's the operational situation in the south and in the Black Sea right now? I will start with the news that absolutely everyone is waiting for, and often enough people blame me that I'm too greedy for good news. So the Ukrainian flag was installed on the Snake Island. It's being erected there, the military operation is over, and the island is back under the jurisdiction of Ukraine. This is a really good news. We've been waiting for it. Thank you, Natalia, for sharing it with us. Now, about the south of Ukraine. What's happening there now? At the rest of the territory, our troops are moving slowly but surely, like we mentioned before, part and parcel of the military operation, keeping silence about what we liberated. First, we defend what we liberated, and then we announce it. The enemy has no success at the land. That's why they use the tactics of the airstrikes and shelling. This morning, again, there was a rocket strike on Novоворontsovka and a number of other southern villages in Kherson region in particular. No information about the casualties just yet, but we are clarifying the circumstances because that was quite a massive shelling. Unfortunately, we received the information that the local residents close to Ingulets at the field forts, field works have been blown up by the munition there. One died on spot, another was brought to hospital with numerous wounds, which means that the enemy keeps using the banned cluster bombs that are not exploding straight away, but keep being a threat, and as we can see, deadly threat. We also have information that there is shelling at the administrative border of Kherson and Mykolaiv region, where the front lines are now. The heavy artillery shells keep flying there that destroy buildings. People are well aware of this risk. Some of them have been evacuated. Others know how to hide from such shelling. Luckily, this night, the shelling was at the farms and no casualties. Ms. Natalia, what's the situation in the Black Sea, especially now that the Russian fleet is still based there? Ms. Natalia, can you hear us? One, two, sound check, Ms. Natalia. We are waiting for our speaker to get reconnected. Miss Natalia, are you with us? Yes, I'm back. Sorry for that. It was an important call. Great that you're back. Well, so what's the situation in the Black Sea now, especially from the standpoint of the Russian Navy being present there? How many ships they have? How many missiles they have on board? Currently, in the southern eastern part of the Black Sea, there are 3 missile ships. The total salvo might be 28 missiles in one strike, and there is one large landing ship close by. This morning, The Economist mentioned that the armed forces of Ukraine is 1 kilometer from Kherson. I quote, "The fight for Kherson would be tough." So if it's possible, if it doesn't hurt anyone, can you comment on this? Let me reiterate that only the military people can comment the advance of our troops. Analysts, deputies, any other politicians or proactive citizens would be hurting with such statements rather than helping. So it's not information to be shared. First of all, it is not trustworthy, what you just quoted. Second of all, it's just hurting the image of those who make this statement. We've seen the statement of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine that the Russians to station Kalimchak in Mirne brought 17 railway cars with munition from Crimea. So what does it tell me? Does it say that the occupiers have some logistics problems? Of course they have. They're facing logistics challenges, because we have performed in the last couple of weeks quite powerful strikes on the stockpiles of both food and lubricants and fuel. Almost every day you have a successful strike in the field's munition depot. So they need to bring ammunition and supplies, but they are facing now trouble with the supply routes. The more their troubles, the better would be our chances for counterattack. Friends, your questions, use the mic. Hello, Ms. Natalia. One question to you. The Russians have increased their submarine presence in the Black Sea. So you mentioned that it might bring caliber type missiles on board. We have talked about the presence of submarine presence there. So where did the submarine came from? Is it the same one, or did it have less calibers there? Now it has more mounted on it. Thank you for answering. Well, 28 calibers, that's the total number of 3 rocket boats and 1 submarine. It's a typical submarine, the one that they all have. No radical change here. So this submarine has 4 missiles installed on it, so nothing radically new. Ukrinform, Victor Shevchenko. I have a couple of questions. First question is, are we aware how many Russian National Guards are in the occupied territories, and what's the total strength of the Russians who are staying in the occupied territories? Second question, do the Russians bring to the occupied territories their own teachers, doctors, etc., taking into account that the Ukrainians are refusing to cooperate with them? Yes, the total number of enemy troops, we know on the ballpark figure, but the figures that we know, they could not be shared because it's only for confidential internal use only, this type of information. While what they try to do is to fill in administrative vacancies with the people bringing in from the Russian mainland. Yeah, that's their current practice. Thank you. Colleagues, would you have any further questions? If not, then Ms. Natalya, thank you. That was Natalya Humenyuk, the head of the Joint Information Press Center of the Security and Defense Forces of the south of Ukraine. Thank you for being online with us. Let me remind you that next briefing will happen at 2:30 and we'll discuss the situation on the borders. Thank you. Stay tuned.